Hi everyone, All the Psych here. I have a video today on deja vu. This is for informational purposes only. And I took the information from WebMD, Dr. Ann Cleary, The Conversation, and I think some other sources as well. Okay, so what is deja vu? So this is the feeling that a new event has already been experienced or that the same scene has been witnessed before. This is from APA Dictionary. So most people have experienced this sensation. I know I have. And what causes it? Well, there's a lot of possible explanations out there: paranormal activity, temporal lobe seizures, and memory reasons. And I'm just going to present information with regard to memory reasons. That makes most sense to me. Okay. So from the conversation, deja vu can happen when there's a spatial resemblance between a current scene and an unrecalled scene in your memory. So psychologists call this the Gestalt familiarity hypothesis. So if you walk into a movie theater that you have never been in before and you have this feeling that you have been there, it may be that the layout of the theater is similar to another movie theater which you've been. And so that can kind of give you this sense of having been there before. There's that familiarity. That doesn't have to be a movie theater that you've physically been at. You know, it can be whatever scene. But let's stick with the movie theater. So if you've seen a movie that includes a scene with a movie theater in it that is very similar to the movie theater that you may now be at, you can experience deja vu. So you know it can be actually something that you see on the TV, like you're watching a movie. It's like, God, I feel like I've been there before. Well, again, it might be that familiarity of having been in a place that has kind of like a similar layout. And this kind of sounds like what's called the sin of misattribution, which involves assigning a memory to the wrong source. And you can look up the book, The Seven Sins of Memory by Schachter, 2001, for more information about this. Now, what's interesting is that, as Dr. Cleary presents in her TED Talk, some people claim that they have a feeling of what will happen next. But in her experiments, you know, when they sensed what would happen next, it was not predictive of what would actually happen. And I personally have sensed deja vu while being in IEP meetings at schools for students, special ed students. And I've also had that feeling of what will happen next. Of course, in my work as a school psychologist, and I'm sure I've attended literally thousands of IEP meetings, and knowing what would happen next doesn't seem to be too far of a stretch in that instance, because you know you kind of go through that same routine, and this person's going to present, and I'm going to present that, and this is what's going to be recommended. So not unusual in my mind, since I've had done that so many times, for me to have kind of that experience of deja vu. So when you have a feeling like that, you may want to, you know, think back on, okay, is there something similar that maybe I'm misattributing to this particular environment right now? Okay, and that is it for today.